Did you know that model Loni Willison went from living in a luxurious mansion in Hollywood to wandering the streets of Los Angeles, searching through garbage? Or that Nicolas Cage went from owning 15 mansions to having to sell everything? In this video, you'll discover 20 celebrities who lost it all. Let's watch it, it's amazing. Loni Willison, once a supermodel, lived a life of luxury and fame. Her face graced magazine covers and her name echoed on the runways. But behind the bright lights, her story took a dramatic turn. After her private wedding to Jeremy Jackson in Laguna Beach, California, they became a famous couple. Jeremy, known for his role as Hobie Buchanan on the hit series Baywatch, was also a singer who released his debut album in 1994. Despite their fame, their marriage was brief and tumultuous. Just 2 years after getting married, the couple got divorced after Jeremy allegedly tried to strangle her during a drunken argument. Loni's life became even more complicated as she battled addictions to alcohol and various substances. In addition to losing her home and job, she also faced a severe mental health crisis. The former model disappeared from public life and lived on the streets of Los Angeles for nearly 4 years. In October 2020, a Daily Mail journalist discovered Loni in Venice Beach, California. She was unrecognizable, wearing dirty, shabby clothes with short hair and missing her upper teeth. Her drug addiction had never been overcome, and her life had been reduced to searching for food in garbage bins. Her life has become a constant struggle, and the fame and wealth she once enjoyed are long gone. Loni Willison, the supermodel who once graced on magazine covers, now lives in homelessness, far from friends and family. Her story serves as a painful reminder of the dangers of addiction. Like and subscribe for more amazing stories. Nicolas Cage. This renowned actor is not only famous for his movies, but also for squandering his $150 million fortune on eccentricities. His eccentric purchases range from acquiring a 67-million-year-old Tarbosaurus dinosaur skull for $300,000 to owning 15 mansions simultaneously, including a $25 million luxurious beachfront condo in California. His life of excess crumbled in 2009 when the United States Internal Revenue Service, IRS, imposed a multi-million-dollar tax lien on him. This marked the end of his extravagance, and Cage was forced to sell properties and get rid of his luxuries to pay off his debts. Amidst this financial chaos, Cage turned to God, and a flood of movie roles began to come his way. While some saw this as a desperate attempt to regain his fortune, others saw his dedication as a form of redemption from his reckless spending spree. In 2022, Cage starred in The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, playing a fictionalized version of himself in a critically acclaimed film. Despite this potential resurgence on the screen, Cage announced his retirement from acting, opting to explore television and spend more time with his family. My favorite of his movies is Face Off. What's yours? Michael Jackson. Indeed, the man behind Thriller, the best-selling album of all time, faced a financial crisis that persisted until his final days. Michael acquired expensive properties, including such as the famous Neverland Ranch for nearly $20 million in 1987, which incurred enormous maintenance costs. Additionally, his art collection, exotic pets, and impulsive purchases further added to his substantial debt. In 1993, he faced accusations of abusing a young boy, leading to significant legal expenses and the loss of advertising contracts. His acquisition of the rights to the Beatles' songs was a risky gamble that resulted in a mountain of debt. It's estimated that these issues cost Jackson hundreds of millions of dollars in legal fees and settlements. His partnership with Sony was also fraught with challenges. Disputes over copyright control and Jackson's ongoing health problems pushed Jackson to the brink of bankruptcy. Despite his phenomenal musical legacy, his tragic death in 2009 from an overdose didn't mark the end of his financial woes. While the income generated by songs like Beat It helped, much of that revenue went towards paying off debts, preserving his legacy, and supporting his family. Mike Tyson. The six-time heavyweight world champion amassed $375 million through his victories in the ring, which, adjusted for current inflation, amounts to over $700 million. However, despite these earnings, Tyson was left with nothing. Growing up in poverty, Tyson wanted to have everything he had ever dreamed of. He spent tens of millions on a fleet of 111 luxury cars, giving away 19 of them to his friends. He also spent hundreds of thousands on white tigers and pigeons, along with their expensive caretakers and maintenance. Gold became his next passion, and he decorated his mansions in Connecticut, Ohio, and Las Vegas with exorbitant amounts of it. His parties, especially his extravagant 30th birthday celebration attended by celebrities, cost him $500,000. His legal expenses, combined with his debts to the United States Internal Revenue Service, IRS, and his penchant for splurging, led him to declare bankruptcy in 2003 with a debt of $23 million. Although his current net worth is unclear, it is estimated that his cannabis business and the animated series Mike Tyson Mysteries have earned him a small fortune of $10 million. Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho, the iconic Brazilian footballer, once enjoyed an impressive fortune of $90 million. However, his financial downfall was as dramatic as his triumphs on the field. After years of glory on the pitch, Ronaldinho's economic decline began to surface following his retirement. In 2019, he faced a government fine of $2.51 million for environmental damage to a property, on top of a $2 million debt in back taxes in Porto Alegre. Later, Brazilian authorities seized 57 of his properties and revoked his passport to prevent him from fleeing the country. In a desperate move, Ronaldinho attempted to enter Paraguay with a fake passport, which resulted in a 171-day prison sentence. The situation reached its peak when, after paying an $80,000 fine, he found himself with just $5 left in his bank account. However, his luck began to turn around thanks to advertising and sponsorship deals. Within just 4 months, his income soared to $1 million, and he now earns over $200,000 for each sponsored post on Instagram. Despite this partial recovery, the legendary footballer faces the challenge of rebuilding his fortune and reputation. Today, he is involved in businesses like Nuki, a sponsorship and development firm, and Footsider, an app revolutionizing football recruitment, as their co-founder. Although his fall was steep, his resilience and dedication to new ventures offer a path to recovery. Helena Merlin. After representing the state of Barinas in the prestigious Miss Venezuela 1975 pageant and making a mark in the international Miss Young International contest in Tokyo, Helena seemed destined for a bright future. However, her life took a dark turn when she fell into the abyss of drug addiction, particularly crack. Consuming alarming amounts, she spiraled into ruin. Despite her initial achievements, addiction led Helena into the darkest corners of life, causing her to abandon everything she had once attained. Nevertheless, she showed bravery by confronting this terrible affliction day after day. Though her fortune vanished and she found herself homeless, Helena summoned the strength to fight her demons and seek a new life alongside her loved ones. Today, Helena has successfully overcome her addiction and resides in the company of her family. Her journey stands as a poignant testament to resilience and personal triumph. Though her fortune and fame were lost along the way, her courage has guided her toward a renewed outlook on life after the darkness. Alongside her daughter Stephanie, who follows in her footsteps in the world of beauty, Helena exemplifies how love and bravery can endure even in the most trying of circumstances. 50 Cent. After the release of his successful debut album, Get Rich or Die Tryin', and his shrewd investment in vitamin water, which earned him around $100 million when Coca-Cola acquired the brand, 50 Cent, the famous rapper also known as Curtis James Jackson III, seemed to be on top of the world. However, his financial fortunes took a dramatic downturn, leading him from the peak of wealth to bankruptcy. However, the global recession of 2008 and unfortunate financial decisions led to million-dollar losses for 50 Cent. Expensive investments during that time and legal battles, including a dispute over the leak of an adult film, contributed to the erosion of his fortune. In 2015, he declared bankruptcy with debts amounting to more than $10 million. These included substantial payments to claimants like Lastonia Leviston, who sued him for defamation and claimed $6 million in damages, as well as Sleek Audio for allegedly stealing the design of their headphones for his own brand. Despite his precarious financial situation, 50 Cent found a way out through television. His involvement in the series Power not only helped him stay afloat, but also allowed him to regain some of his financial stability. Additionally, his investments in companies like Sire Spirits and SMS Promotions contributed to his gradual economic recovery. Today, while his fortune may not reach the $500 million he once had, 50 Cent remains an influential name in the entertainment industry. MC Hammer. The rapper behind You Can't Touch This rose to fame and fortune in the 1990s. After amassing a fortune of $250 million, Hammer faced a series of poor financial decisions. After the success of his album Please Hammer Don't Hurt 'Em, which sold 17 million copies, MC Hammer's fortune soared to $70 million. However, his spending matched his rapid success. He purchased a $12 million mansion, acquired 20 luxury cars, and even invested in 21 racehorses. Additionally, he maintained a team of 200 people for his tours, with salaries alone costing between $500,000 and $1 million per month. In 1996, Hammer declared bankruptcy, with debts totaling $13 million. He sold his mansion at a fraction of its cost and lost all his assets. Although his music career never recovered, he found a new path as a Christian preacher and entrepreneur in Silicon Valley. At 62 years old, MC Hammer's net worth is estimated at around $3 million today, a fraction of what it once was. Margot Kidder, the iconic actress known for her role as Lois Lane in Superman, experienced a career filled with ups and downs and financial challenges. After achieving fame in the 1970s with roles in films like Sisters and Superman, a tragic car accident in 1990 left her temporarily paralyzed, unable to work, and facing enormous medical expenses. While her talent brought her recognition in the entertainment industry, the effects of bipolar disorder, which she had been dealing with since her teens, intensified over the years. She faced addictions, divorces, and financial difficulties due to her mental illness and the costs associated with her medical treatment. The proper diagnosis of bipolar disorder came late in 1988, and by then, the consequences of her personal struggles had already taken their toll. Amid her manic episodes, extravagant spending, and personal battles, Kidder faced bankruptcy and lost much of her fortune. Despite attempts to recover, including political activism and a resurgence in her artistic career, financial and health problems persisted. Living with relative stability was not enough to restore her finances, as the ravages of decades of battling mental illness and addictions had taken their toll. Sadly, on May 13, 2018, Margot Kidder chose to end her life through an overdose of alcohol and pills. Her story serves as a poignant reminder of the challenges that can arise, even for those who reach the pinnacle of success. Tori Spelling, the actress from Beverly Hills 90210, daughter of legendary television producer Aaron Spelling, spent her childhood in a Los Angeles mansion, unaware of the concept of economic problems. Despite her father's impressive fortune, Tori and her brother Randy inherited only a fraction of his estate, estimated between $15 and $20 million, while the majority went to their mother, Candy Spelling. This limited distribution of the inheritance left Tori in a less financially favorable position than she might have expected. Over the years, Tori faced additional financial challenges due to failed real estate investments and extravagant spending. Rumors of excessive spending, such as closing an entire store for private shopping, illustrate her lack of financial control. Tori's financial collapse became evident when her bank accounts were seized for failing to pay substantial debts. This marked just the beginning of her financial downfall. In August 2023, she was spotted living with her 5 children in a trailer park, a stark contrast to the luxurious mansion where she spent her childhood and adolescence. Andreas Brehme. The iconic German footballer had a career marked by success on the field, particularly remembered for his penalty goal in the 1990 World Cup final that led West Germany to victory. However, his post-football life was plagued by financial difficulties that pushed him to the brink of bankruptcy. Despite being part of renowned teams like Bayern Munich, Inter Milan, and Kaiserslautern, poor financial decisions and bad investments depleted the fortune he had amassed during his illustrious career. It is estimated that he lost all his money in the years following his retirement, facing debts exceeding €200,000. His attempt to transition into coaching did not yield the expected success, and he was forced to confront the reality of his financial troubles when he had to take out a loan using his house as collateral. On the brink of losing everything and facing the possibility of homelessness, his former teammate Oliver Straube offered him a job at his cleaning company. This unexpected turn in his life reflects the harsh reality of economic difficulties that even the most successful sports figures can face. Andres Brahim's story serves as a reminder that fame and glory in sports do not guarantee lasting financial stability. Dennis Rodman. During his legendary NBA career, Dennis Rodman was much more than a champion. He was a basketball icon. With his hair dyed in extravagant colors and his imposing playing style that amazed everyone, he became a legend with the Chicago Bulls. However, his on-court success did not translate into smart financial management. Rodman, known for his extravagant lifestyle and addiction problems, faced a series of financial challenges. Fines, divorces, and his own recklessness with money pushed him to the brink of bankruptcy. However, the most devastating blow came from a scam. He blindly trusted Peggy Ann Fulford, a supposed financial advisor who turned out to be a fraudster, falsely claiming to have Harvard degrees and success on Wall Street. Rodman considered her part of his family and trusted her with his finances. However, Fulford used her position to take complete control of his accounts. The deception included cutting off electricity in a condo in Florida that Fulford had bought and excessive spending in his name, such as a hefty Victoria's Secret bill that Rodman claims he never made. The result was disastrous. Rodman found himself with a vanished fortune and facing financial ruin. Despite his legacy as one of the best in his position, his economic situation serves as a stark reminder that poorly managed wealth can lead to ruin. Today, his estate is estimated at a fraction of what it once was, but his story remains a powerful lesson about the dangers of success without proper financial management. Burt Reynolds. Reynolds was Hollywood's brightest star, dominating the box office with blockbuster hits like The Longest Yard and Smokey and the Bandit, which grossed hundreds of millions of dollars. With an estimated salary of $10 million a year, his life was a dream come true. Multiple luxurious properties, a private jet, and a fleet of sports cars. Yet, Reynolds' extravagant lifestyle started to decline when his excessive spending, alongside expensive divorces, particularly the acrimonious conclusion of his marriage to Loni Anderson, which cost him millions in divorce settlements. Rather than managing his fortune wisely, Reynolds wasted his money on luxury properties, purchasing multiple mansions instead of just one, and living beyond his means. As time passed, poor investments and a lavish lifestyle led him to financial ruin. Auctioning off awards, selling properties, and the harsh reality of living in a neighbor's home without paying rent became his new reality. His fortune, which once stood at $60 million, dwindled, leaving behind only a few million by the time of his death in 2018. Cole Sprouse. Before becoming the charismatic Jughead Jones on Riverdale and earning significant amounts per episode, Sprouse had already made an impact on the screen, from his role in Friends to his memorable performance in Big Daddy opposite Adam Sandler. However, despite his achievements, his fortune evaporated before he could even manage it. The tragic downturn in Sprouse's financial life happened when he found out that his mother had spent wastefully all of his income from the showbiz. After years of legal disputes, custody was taken away from his mother and given to his father, who wished his children to lead a more ordinary life. However, by that time, the damage had been done, and Sprouse's fortune had completely disappeared. Thankfully, Sprouse was able to revive his career and rebuild a portion of his wealth after being absent from the spotlight for years. Now boasting an estimated net worth of $8 million, Sprouse has come to understand the significance of managing his finances and ensuring that his money is not misused without his approval. Whitney Houston. In her prime, she was a celebrity making up to $30 million a year due to her exceptional voice and hits that topped the charts. However, her fortune disappeared in a series of bad decisions and personal challenges. One of the main reasons for her decline has been her struggle with addiction to substances. This constant struggle affected not only her health and well-being, but also devastated her capacity to work and generate income. With her addiction worsening, her career endured, with concerts and tours canceled because of health issues and absence of professionalism. Besides her addiction issues, Houston also wasted significant amounts of money on her rocky marriage to Bobby Brown and through extravagant spending, including luxurious properties, expensive jewelry, and a lavish lifestyle. Legal battles and health issues also added to her financial downfall. Interestingly, in 2012, Whitney Houston accumulated $20 million in debt. Her death led to an increase in the sales of her music, generating $40 million and helping to clear a portion of the debt while leaving a trust fund for her daughter, Bobby Christina Brown. Sadly, Bobby died at the age of 22 after a 9-month coma as a result of a drug overdose. Heidi Montag, known for her role on the reality show The Hills. Excessive spending was one of the main factors that contributed to the financial downfall of Heidi and her husband, Spencer Pratt. They led a luxurious lifestyle, splurging money on extravagant dinners, expensive wines, and designer clothes. Heidi would spend between $20,000 and $30,000 a day on shopping, while Spencer wasn't far behind, shelling out around $1 million solely on clothes since he disliked repeating outfits. However, their extravagance didn't stop with their lifestyle. In 2009, Heidi underwent 10 plastic surgeries during one day, spending approximately $200,000 in total. Moreover, in 2012, the couple panicked, convinced of the imminent end of the world because of an alleged asteroid impact. Believing they had to spend all their money before the catastrophe, they quickly wasted their fortune. Currently, the couple has returned to television in the revival of The Hills, yet their combined wealth is estimated at only $300,000. Stephen Baldwin. Just being a part of an acting dynasty does not guarantee lifelong financial security. A compelling example of this is the story of this actor, who nearly faced jail due to unpaid tax debts and lost his home. The actor, famous for appearing in films like The Usual Suspects and The Flintstones in Viva Rock Vegas, filed for bankruptcy in 2009 because of an enormous debt burden. He had 2 mortgages totaling up to $1.2 million on a house valued at $1.1 million and was owing over $70,000 in credit card debt. Furthermore, he faced serious IRS issues for not filing tax returns for several years, resulting in a debt of $400,000 in back taxes, interest, and penalties. Despite his efforts to resolve his financial issues, the situation worsened when faced with the foreclosure of his home in 2017 because of mortgage non-payment. The property, worth $800,000, was sold for just $100, resulting in Baldwin having an outstanding debt of $1.1 million. Stephen faced challenges as well in his career, opting to appear in low-budget projects instead of continuing his participation in major Hollywood productions. Despite all that, his present net worth is estimated at around $3 million. Kim Basinger. In the 1980s, during her burgeoning career with films such as 9½ Weeks and Batman, Kim Basinger made a decision that would later haunt her. She spent $20 million purchasing an entire village in Georgia named Brazelton. However, her ambitious plan to turn Brazelton into a flourishing film and recording studio failed dramatically. The residents were not happy with a celebrity interfering with their community, and her investment failed to yield the expected profits. In 1995, she was compelled to sell the property for just $4.3 million, incurring a significant loss of her assets. Her financial woes deepened when she violated a contract to star in the movie Boxing Helena, which resulted in a $7.4 million lawsuit seeking damages. Confronted with the possibility of having her assets seized, she declared bankruptcy, but eventually managed to reduce her payment obligation. Aaron Carter. The younger sibling of Nick Carter, famous for his connection to the Backstreet Boys, Aaron Carter swiftly rose to fame as the opening act performer for the band in 1997, followed by the release of 4 studio albums within a span of 5 years. However, his musical career took a downturn after 2002, and his fame became more associated with scandals rather than musical accomplishments. Despite being immersed in the entertainment industry from a young age, He had reportedly amassed approximately $200 million by the time he turned 18. Sadly, poor financial management by his parents resulted in him never truly getting to enjoy his earnings. Upon reaching the age of majority, he had only $2 million left and found himself in debt to the tune of $3.5 million in back taxes. In 2013, he faced a financial crisis resulting in his declaration of bankruptcy, owing a total debt of $2.2 million to his creditors, along with $1.3 million in unpaid taxes and $31,166 in credit card debt. Despite attempting to revive his music career by releasing an album in 2018 and performing live, he passed away in November 2022, with his assets reduced to just $400,000. His life stands as a sobering reminder of the perils of fame at a young age and underscores the importance of managing finances responsibly. Dustin Diamond. The actor, known for portraying Screech Powers in the 90s series Saved by the Bell, encountered a string of legal battles and personal challenges that led to his downfall. His 2006 book, Behind the Bell, exposed controversial behind-the-scenes details, resulting in tensions among his colleagues and sparking legal battles. Moreover, he found it difficult to break free from the shadow of his character, thus limiting his career prospects. In a desperate attempt to regain his financial stability, he delved into an erotic video industry in hopes of replicating the financial success of other celebrities, but this decision only exacerbated his career. In 2015, he declared bankruptcy, owing $10 million and with assets totaling just $50,000. He attempted to sell t-shirts to save his home, but his efforts were in vain. His struggle came to a tragic end with a diagnosis of lung cancer in 2021. Now tell me, do you know of other celebrities who mismanage their earnings? Share with us in the comments. Here are two options you'll surely love.